afternoon, Lauren. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. For everybody, Lauren Greer is a uh, title company representative or sales executive in a title company. How long have you been with that company, Lauren?
So I've been with First American Title for almost 3 years. And prior to that, I was with the company that First American purchased. So I've been with the company as a whole for 13 years. I was on the escrow side only before, and now I'm on the title side with them.
Okay, so you have escrow experience and title experience. And
Yeah.
for people that have never gone through a real estate transaction, what is what the title company does? So what is the title in a real estate transaction?
So title insurance is a policy that you get as a homeowner when you purchase a new house. It protects you against, instead of most insurance, which is for the future, it protects you against anything that could have happened in the past. So when you purchase a house, the seller actually typically pays for it for you as the buyer, and it protects you against anything that can come up in the future as long as you own the house. So or come up in the past, sorry. So like, let's say there was something fraudulent. Let's say there was a child support lien. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, you're responsible for this, title insurance would cover you for that. Stuff like lot lines. It's our job as a title company to do the research when a transaction opens escrow to make sure that the title is completely clear prior to the new owner taking responsibility and ownership of that property. So basically, if we didn't do something to clear that title and it comes up in the future, that homeowner is not responsible for that mistake. The title policy covers that and they can file a claim.
So
So
title insurance will be necessary for purchases, but also for transfers as well. Just when
yeah,
a transfer occurs, that is not a purchase per se.
so a lot of people do transfer ownership, let's say add a husband, put it into their trust without a title insurance policy. Most of the time, title insurance policies are only part of a transaction when money is, when the property is sold and money is transacted. So like a refinance, a purchase. But when you add somebody onto title and let's say change the vesting of the ownership, we call that an uninsured deed. And so when that person goes to sell the property later on, that title company that's going to insure it, we have them fill out an uninsured deed affidavit because it was a deed that was recorded without a title policy involved. But it does happen quite often.
So that way, when for the new owner wants a clean title, not having any clause on title per se. So the
Correct.
transfer is clean, and the new owner can enjoy the property without any encumbrances on the property.
Correct. So there's the owner's title policy, which covers the new owner, the buyer in the transaction, from anything that was in the past. And then the lender actually also, if there's a loan that the buyer's getting, the lender gets something called a lender's title policy, and that's based on the loan amount, and that covers the lender for their mortgage until that's paid off. So it's a protection for the lender and then a protection for the new homeowner.
Okay, so that part is probably paid by the buyer then.
Correct. Typically, the lender's title policy, which protects the lender, is paid by the buyer, and the owner's title policy is paid by the seller, but that protects the new homeowner, the buyer.
Okay, I see, I see.
Yeah,
All right, and so this is for the life of the owner owning that property. That
correct.
okay.
Correct. But let's say somebody does transfer into a LLC, that voids the title insurance. So people do have to be very careful when they do add people onto title and change ownership. If it's not part of a transaction, that does void the title policy.
Oh, I see. So, for example, if somebody buys a property and then later they want to put it in a trust, for example, because they want extra protection or they want to avoid probate or something like that, they put it on a living trust that cease or terminates that policy.
Correct, because the people that were insured are the owners that took title when they purchased the property. So like a situation that I just had come up, there was a husband and wife that owned a lot of investment property for probably 50 plus years. And it was in their, they owned it husband and wife, and the husband passed away. And so she wanted to put all the property in a trust to protect them in case something happened to her, so it didn't go to probate. And so because she had owned it for so long, she bought title policies on every single investment property when she was putting it into the trust. So what we do is we look at the current market value of the property, even though it was not an actual transaction. She wanted to make sure she had a current title policy, and she did it the correct way, where from 50 years ago, there was so much that could have happened in that 50 years. She wasn't willing to take the risk of not getting a new title policy. And she, for all 20 of her properties, she bought current market value title policies to protect herself when she put it in the trust.
And just to be clear, in this particular situation, there has to be a title policy for each individual property.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so there's not one blanket insurance title.
No, that's like an umbrella policy for homeowners insurance. But yeah, title policy is different. It's per property.
I see. So, have you seen or encountered any? Because we get a lot of information about uh, scams and fraudulent transfers, and people sometimes don't even know, especially if they're not living at the property. It might be an investment property, and then suddenly they realize that the property has been transferred. Uh, have you seen any like that, anything like that, and how can title help in a situation like that?
So we see a lot of it, and actually some of the properties that are, like you said, if it's vacant, if it's not a primary residence, and if there's no mortgage on the property, those are prime targets for fraud cases. So if there is a case that opens up where somebody's, let's say, trying to sell a property that's free and clear, and it's vacant, we send a letter to the actual mailing address of the owner to say, hey, we saw an open order for this. Is this you? And it kind of puts them on alert. Basically, if all of the checks and balances pass and it still comes out as fraudulent, this person's like a criminal that knows what they're doing. They have a fake ID. They know how to do all the stuff to get through all the checks and balances. That homeowner would file that the homeowner that got taken advantage of, that didn't actually sell the property, would file a claim with the title insurance company. So that's how they get protected.
Is there anything that either the title company or the assessors or that the homeowner can go to and say, hey, whenever there's something going on, I want to be notified?
Yeah, so Los Angeles County Assessor's Office actually has a link where you can sign up as a homeowner to be notified of anything recorded against your property. The only problem is it's after the fact. So it alerts you, but it doesn't, there's no way for them to be like, oh, by the way, someone's around your property. So it just makes you aware after the fact, but so you can jump on it and fix it.
Okay, so in that case, they call title company and try to find out what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And alert them that you're the owner, that there was a fraudulent, let's say, mortgage. A lot of people pull out a loan against a property that doesn't have a mortgage on it because it has a ton of equity. So we're seeing that a lot. You know, they're very creative. They it's scary, but every single time something like that happens, it just makes more basically checks and balances for us to follow to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Okay. Have you encountered any issues lately with transfer of property when right now with this government shutdown, with people trying to use any government loan programs?
We haven't seen any slowdowns for like recordings and whatnot. I have been seeing quite a few of the escrows that we have cancel because of Fannie and Freddie not loaning for like HOA condos, condominium complexes. and whatnot. So a few have canceled because of that, but the government shutdown we haven't seen directly affect transactions not going through.
And is there with First American, is there a perhaps a website where clients or anybody can just take a look at these and be more informed about what they can do to prevent any kind of frauds, or at least learn more about what title company can do?
Yeah, I actually have my own website that I can send you, and I'll give you the county assessor's website to sign up for the alerts too that your clients can sign up for. So, like, because
Okay.
my website has a lot of really good educational material, videos, information about like different documents and what they mean, different propositions and the tax basis. There's just so much information to absorb in this
Well,
industry.
there is because, for example, something that happens to me all the time is when uh, new or first-time home buyers want to buy the first house,
Mhm.
they don't even know how to take title, whether it's a husband and wife, or whether it's joint tenants, tenants in common, has got a white community with the right of survivorship, community property with the right of
Yeah.
survivorship. So there are different ways. So people need to be informed before they take that
Yeah.
step.
I have actually a chart that shows the different vesting options because people do ask that, and we always say, "Oh, your agent and escrow and title are not supposed to inform you on that." But here's a sheet that shows you the
Exactly.
differences. You can ask an attorney if you want, but there are differences in each of them, and there's ramifications if you don't pick the right one. But I always tell people, if you're going to own a property, you should definitely have a trust. God forbid something happens, but it's just that's the way to protect yourself and your family and your from having to go
Well,
to
that
probate.
is, yeah, for sure. So, with this video underneath, we're going to put the links that you're going to send me so people can, click there and get some more information. And I
Perfect.
really thank you for your time. It's
You're
been
welcome.
always, it's always, I'm always learning something new.
Always. Me too. You and me both. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for being with us. Thank you,
Of
Lauren,
course.
again.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.